Welcome back for another video. It's the long-awaited experts video for Gameweek 29. The international break's finally over and FPL's back. We've rounded up the experts to get their transfer plans, captaincy, chip usage and all those good things. Chips are absolutely flying this week, I'll say that much. If you'd like to improve your rank through valuable experts data every game week, make sure you're subscribing. Our top-ranked experts reached eye-watering heights. David Vaux scored 63 points before the break, nailed the Saka captaincy, and he's up to 143rd in the world. He sits at 1,929 points and very likely to break the 2,000 point mark this game week, which is unbelievable at this point. Can he break top 100 this week? 15 of our experts sit inside the top 10k as well now. The average expert scores 53 points last game week. Well done if you did beat the experts average. Moving on to their transfer activity this week, just 11% enroll on the transfer into this huge double game week for 12 teams. 18% are making one transfer, 53% are making two, and 13% are making three transfers for at least one hit. 3% are making 4 or more transfers, and a couple of free hits are active as well. In fact, one of our experts has sent their free hit team in, which we'll look at later. So we'll have a look at the best Gameweek 29 team in their eyes shortly. In terms of hits this week, 42% of the experts are taking a -4, 8% are taking a -8, and one manager's taking a -12. It's a huge double game week, so don't be afraid to take a hit if it looks logical, particularly if you're selling a single game week player for a double game week player. These are the most bought and sold players by the experts this week. Shaw's top with a massive 63% of the experts getting him in. With Casemiro suspended for the entirety of the double game week, it does pose the question whether they'll suffer defensively or not, but the Brentford game at Old Trafford in particular looks like a good fixture, and to be honest, Newcastle away could be a cagey game as well. Bruno's the second most transferred in by 46% of the experts. Over the last 4 game weeks, he's created more chances and big chances than any player in the league, and historically he's been a reliable double game week asset, particularly as he basically always plays the 90 minutes and he's on penalties. Looking at the most sold, it's the Arsenal players making way for Shaw and Bruno. Odegaard sold by 47%, Zinchenko 31%, Gabriel 23% and Saka 17%. A massive 35% separates Maddison and Fernandes among transfers in. On paper this week, not much separates them, and arguably Maddison's got the better fixtures, so it's a surprising gap. This one does also depend on your chip strategy though. If you've already used your free hit, or you're saving it for Gameweek 34 or beyond, then you do need to pay attention to which teams blank in Gameweek 32, and whether you can field 11 or not. Man United are among the 4 teams that blank in Gameweek 32, along with Brighton, Chelsea and Man City. So Leicester don't blank, and they are home to Wolves that week. Interestingly, Maddison is slightly more captain than Bruno this week among the experts. We'll talk more on captaincy later. The 2 super enablers, Iversen and Steele, have been transferred in by 7% each. Ward lost his spot in goal just before the break. Rodgers was asked in a press conference for the number of games Iversen will get in goal, and he replied that there wasn't a specific number in mind. He and Steele are in the same boat. If they can keep their spot, they'll be incredible value for the rest of the season. By luck more than judgment, many of the experts had already sold Haaland before the break, so only a couple are selling him now. He's not trained at all over the break and looks like a major doubt for Gameweek 29. Let's have a look at how the chip usage looks after last game week, and we've got a free hit team for one of the experts to share in a minute. Just over 90% have wildcarded. The last good opportunity looks like Gameweek 33. If you still got yours and you're not using it now, then I'd consider taking that route. It allows you to dead end your team into blank Gameweek 32. In other words, bring in players that you wouldn't want beyond the blank, and then wildcard them straight back out in Gameweek 33 before the double in Gameweek 34. A massive 89% of our experts have got their bench boost active this week. They've stuck to the plan, which for many was set all the way back in Gameweek 25 a month ago when they wildcarded. 8.3% still have the bench boost after this week, and they'll likely use it in Gameweek 34, which is likely to be the last good opportunity, though we will have a smaller double in Gameweek 37 and potentially Gameweek 36 just before. So one of the experts with the free hit active is Aslak, who finished at a ridiculous rank of 63rd in the world last season. His free hit is active and the team is as follows. He's got De Gea in goal, a back three of Chilwell, Shaw and Pereira. In midfield he's got the Brighton triple up of March, McAllister and Mitoma, along with Rashford captain and Maddison. And up top he's got a Chelsea double up of Felix and Havertz. The beauty of the free hit is that it allows you to take a 1 week punt or two, and that can certainly be said with this team. Here's what Aslak had to say. My plan is to wildcard in 33, bench boost 34, so the best option for me this week is to free hit. Hopefully it will at least get me as many points as those who use their bench boost chip. By free hitting now and saving my wildcard and bench boost, I feel like it will give me a huge advantage in that last part of the season, as I only need to plan for blank Gameweek 32. I don't have a lot of Brighton, Man United and Chelsea players, so by using the free hit now, I can stack up on players from these teams and don't have to worry about them till I wildcard. I'll only consider more Man United players. For the free hit team, I've heavily stacked up on the teams with a double game week because I think they'll give me the most points. There aren't a lot of tempting forwards to choose from, so my hope lies with the Chelsea boys. At the moment I have triple Brighton mids, but I'm not feeling too confident in the defence, so I might change Matoma and Shaw to Bruno and Estepinian. Ricardo Pereira is a differential of Leicester having favourable fixtures. Other players I considered were Benrahma and Bowen, Barnes, Zuma, Trippier and a different goalkeeper. I'm staying away from Liverpool, Arsenal and City, though they might come back to bite me, but my season has been a slow starter, so I have some catching up to do. Thanks very much for sending in. On to the Experts captaincy. I've had to rearrange the layout a bit this week to fit all the fixtures in. So here's how that captaincy looks this week. 74% have gone for Rashford captain, who has been back in light training this week. This one could of course change if there's any bad news closer to the deadline on his chances of starting, but we'd expect him to be fine. Matoma is second with 8%, March with 5%, and then a few experts have gone for McAllister, Maddison and Bruno. Just a single expert's gone for Salah captain. Salah surprisingly low, however the results might have looked a bit different had the question been who's the best captain rather than who are you captaining. Salah is a difficult player to get to for many managers and he does potentially block getting Haaland back in with money tied up in midfield. Captaincy does look divided this week, drop a comment below who you're on. Before we look at the FPL Experts team, if this video has been useful please remember to hit like and make sure you subscribe and to follow this series every week. So our Experts team is built from their highest owned players with the Gameweek transfers factored in, and here's how the team looks for Gameweek 29. It's a serious team this week. The bench boost is active, Kepa's in goal with Shaw, Trippier and Chilwell in defence. The midfield 5 is Saka, March, Matoma, Rashford and Fernandes. Up top it's Tony and Watkins. On the bench it's Raya, Kane, Botman and Estepinian. 13 of the 15 players have got double game week this week. We're going to see some ridiculous scores this week among the experts, that's for sure. It'd be great to see David Vaux break the top 100 and then who knows how far he goes from there. Haaland absolutely nowhere to be seen among the top 25 most owned players among the experts, which really underlines what different game they play at times. He's still 75% owned among the entire player base, 8.5 million managers, but the experts already got rid last game week. There's some other huge discrepancies when we compare the experts ownership to the overall ownership, and these are the opportunities to move up the ranks. Watkins 80% owned versus 15% owned. Chilwell 68% owned versus 10% owned. March 49% owned versus 10% owned. Pause and rewind if you need to go back and dig through the detail more. Every game week we ask the experts to offer their insight and tips for the game week ahead. Gordon Kelly says, the big dilemma surrounds Arsenal players. Leeds is a great fixture, so are they worth taking out for a hit for the likes of Shaw, Chilwell or Fernandes? My suspicion is no, but I suspect that success or the failure of the game week will depend on Arsenal's single fixture versus the doubles. FPL Analyst is also thinking about Arsenal and he says, we've seen single game weekers beat double game weekers and the narrative around removing Arsenal assets feels dangerous but understandable long term. Replacing a double game weeker with a perceived better double game weeker is an equally good strategy in my view. Amra Batman's looking at Kane, another key single game week asset, and he says, would like to remove Kane from -4 but just can't see much upside with the doubling forward options. TomTom says, the sort of week that defines a season, a lot of good captain options but Rash feels the most likely to explode. I have a feeling a lot of the double defenders won't score well, Luke Shaw and Bruno seem no brainers for the weeks ahead. Pete Willett says, big expectations for the bench boost, hoping for at least 15 points. Could have used it in previous weeks, maybe regret not using it with Gabriel on the bench in Gameweek 27 with 15 points alone. Morton Gamst Edison says, can't believe I've had to replace both Sanchez and Ward since the Gameweek 26 wildcard. I'm owed 8 points from Rodgers and De Zerbi. And lastly Marco says, international break is over, FPL's back baby. Thanks for watching everyone. If you enjoyed the video hit like and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future game weeks. We'll be live here for the deadline. See you then.